Good morning. It's me, Annalisa, with my spiritual friend. I hope y'all had a great week. Let me get the list going. Got several of you already. I kind of garbled in my mouth there. We aren't invading Greenland. Just because Trump speaks crap out of his mouth does not mean we're invading Greenland. And unfortunately, this stuff in Minnesota, I feel like kind of had to happen, like for people to get angry enough, because humans are stupid and we have to have things be really terrible before we make changes. Guilty of this as well. What am I doing? All right, let me get the list up. Hi, Misty. How are you? Hi, Catherine. I got your payments. Oh, shoot. No, I didn't bring reading glasses today. Well, we might be blind today. Hi, good morning, Regine. How are you? So it's official. I'm going to launch the community on Friday. I'm doing Friday. It's not the beginning of the week, but my friend who's an astrologer, and I could wait, whatever, but she said this would be a good time because she said you don't want to launch it in void of moon if you want the cosmos to help you. She's like, yes, you can manifest, but if you want the cosmos to help, and I'm all about any help I can get in life. So on Friday, I'll send out another email and let you know that it's live. And I hope you like it. I don't have like the details in what's included. It's not going to have tiers. We're just doing one community, and then I'll just offer different services. I talked to my friend about it, she's the one who built my website, and she does marketing stuff. And she's like, don't overcomplicate your life. Like, so I won't be doing daily card pulls because she's like, that's going to be just, I can't schedule it on the Stan store, like on their community thing. They don't have it so you can schedule it. So I could either get a different platform, and I guess if I grow big enough, then I'll get a different platform and do something different. But you've taken your advice and you've been eating like a diabetic plus monitoring your blood sugar. Need to see what spikes my glucose. Yeah. Are you feeling better? Are you still like, have you noticed any changes? Happy New Year, Julia. Julia, I haven't seen you in forever. How are you? I got to read for, maybe I won't say who I read for. I read for one of you here yesterday. That's what I'm going to do. I just realized I was like, I don't know, like, and it's fun to see you guys when you're like, when I get to like interact with you and all of that stuff. So that's like not here. And so that's what I'm trying to do with the community, where we'll do some live meditations, and obviously you can rewatch them. And I want to do once a month either. So like we'll switch it up depending on what you guys want, and we can change topics too if you want something different because it's a community. So we work together. But ideas are like doing like a manifesting Q&A / hot seat. So I'll put one of you in, like, so then you can kind of see how to process through stuff instead of just me like answering questions and lecturing. But because I think practical application is better than you're sleeping better. And that definitely helps. It definitely helps. Add the walking in because that helps you throughout the day too. But anyway, so, and then the other thing I would do is maybe even do like an intuition one too, like kind of working through some of your own experiences, blah, 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 self-concept work, all of that. We can flip it around. And right now it'll be like one meditation live a month, one little, Q&A thing. And then we'll do like a weekly journaling prompt. And I may throw in stuff here and there, but I just want to like not overpromise and underdeliver. I'd rather underpromise and overdeliver, if you will. So I can add stuff in and be like, oh, hey, I'm going to jump on and go live right now and do this if anybody wants to, or on this day and do this if anybody wants to join me for an extra little bonus this month kind of thing. Because I feel like that's better than being like, I'm going to do all these things and then I can't. And then it's just a flop. And then who wants to do that? Okay, should we start readings? I don't have like super exciting stuff. My daughter's birthday is tomorrow, one of them. And it's her last single digit year. So, and I didn't get to do, I had to like do errands and things for picking out tiles and all the boring stuff because I'm here during the week with, it is a big one, 9. 9 is fine, or 9 is divine. Work people here during the week, so I don't like to like leave too much. So then I have 2 more weeks of this. And I don't have the bookshelf yet because it turns out like you put it together in 3 sections and then like put the sections together. And they're not heavy, but they're awkward. So I'm going to have one of my work guys help me with it tomorrow. Because there's going to be a lot of them demoing stuff here tomorrow. So my contractor was like, yeah, we could totally help you for that. I was like, I just need to help me to like lift it. I can put it all together. I just need the lifting part because I don't know, whatever. Sometimes you have to ask for help. So next week I will have that. All right. Let's see who's first on the list. I've got Misty is up first. Oh, I didn't hit enter. Sorry, dears. So we're doing ice skating because that's our Sunday thing. And then we're going to go do some pottery painting I think she wants to do. And I was like, hey, I can make a cake or, whatever. What do you want me to make? And she's like, can we just go get ice cream? And I was like, yeah. And she's like, well, I don't want you to be like overwhelmed. I'm like, I'm not overwhelmed now. I can do whatever you want me to do. And it's your birthday and you can totally ask. She's like, I really want ice cream and all the toppings. I was like, okay, sounds good. All right. Are you here, Misty? Oh, Misty, you're here. You want to ask your question? Oh, wait. You've taken the advice. Sorry. I still feel like your stomach is a little off. It's not like quite nausea. But it's like a heaviness. Does that resonate? General reading? Okay, I'm just reading your energy right now. I'll go into like whatever, but does that like the heaviness in your stomach make sense? Have you been a little down this week? Like just more, I don't know if it's like more dreamy or reminiscing, maybe? Reminiscing? Not reminiscing. I make up my own words all the time. Feeling disconnected and helpless. Okay, because I'm like, all of a sudden I just felt like I was like out there. Okay. So some of that's like, I know it's like, it sounds terrible. Some of that's like planetary stuff. I literally was just listening to this guy talk about like astrology stuff. I've been like, I think I said this last week. I've been really kind of like leaning into learning a little bit more about it and looking at how I can, even though I 1000% believe in manifesting and literally just like think it, do it, create it, whatever. I'm going to talk more about that with y'all. But anyways, I also believe that like you should have fun with your experience and like learn as much as you can because I don't know, I like learning a lot. And no, everybody doesn't like to learn a lot. I, but so this guy was talking about Saturn moving into Aries, which is I have known about for a couple of years because it's hitting right over my 0 degrees Aries ascendant, and it's supposedly Saturn and Neptune coming together in Aries has like never happened, or it's been forever and ever and ever. And like, so then looking at what that means on a personal level, but then I was looking at like when Saturn moves into Aries. So I think that you guys should do this too, because it's really interesting. So it's like, well, in the first house of Aries, it's like about how you show up in the world, how you present yourself, like what's the main character energy you want to carry going through this. And it can also look at like how you show up physically or how you show up on a personality wise or through your business and all of that stuff. So I've got like lots of big changes happening in my own personal life. And I thought about, and Saturn runs on a 30-year cycle, right? So you have your Saturn return around the time you're 30 and then again at 60, and that's your natal Saturn. But Saturn hit my Aries first house 30 years ago when I was 17, my senior year in high school, moving into, moving into like my freshman year in college, and it sits there for a couple of years. So it's like, that's a big transition time too. So I was thinking about how I sort of not really reinvented myself, but like decided that because I noticed in high school I could sit in a room full of people and still feel very alone. And I thought I'm never ever going to allow anybody to feel that way. And so um, I made this like conscious decision moving into college that I was going to make sure that I was like a little bit more outgoing and gregarious with my energy. But the thing that I learned with that is like you can be friendly with a lot of people and still not have a lot of friends. I mean, I had friends, but I mean, I still like people like, you know, everybody, but I was like, but nobody really knows you. Like it's all like really surface and that kind of stuff. So that was interesting, but that was a big transition time. So I'm like looking at this. So I'm asking you to look at, if you go to figure out your birth chart and you figure out what house Aries is in and then what that house represents. So like the fourth house is family, the second house is money. I don't know what the third house is. Fifth house is like Leo. So that's how you like kind of have fun. And sometimes I talk about like how you raise your children and have fun with your children. But you go through all of the houses. And I think 10th house is career. I always have to look it up. But point being, go through and look at it and see how you can use Saturn's energy of being like liking it's like slower movement, but it's methodical. It's hi Broken Justice. How are you? It's been a little bit. Oh yeah, I'll totally. You know what I'll also do is in the community, I'll put links to everything I like, and I'll even like pop in there things that have caught my interest that week, and I'll share all of that with you. Um, I don't know. I got off on this tangent, but I think what I'm trying to tell you is to go through and look at your birth chart and see how that's affecting you because Saturn hasn't quite moved in yet, so it's still dragging a little bit of that Piscean, like really looking in within your energy and looking deep within all of the shadow work. Because I can tell you, for the last 2 years, I've done a shit ton of shadow work, right? Looking at old beliefs that have really kept me paralyzed and like sort of moving through them. I always find it interesting when I look at my life. I'm like, oh yeah, that happened, that happened, that happened. Like time frame, how everything sort of lines up astrologically. So that's what I would say is like I keep feeling like that will help you with that. Like this is just like the releasing of the last dregs of things, but also really listening to self-concept work. That was another thing I just threw on where I was like, I'm just going to throw this on really quick. And it was an affirmation rampage. So it wasn't subliminal. And it was kind of like she's saying, it's Guru. What is her name? I like her. Her voice doesn't annoy me either. High frequency guru. I think that's important too. Is like somebody's voice shouldn't annoy you if you're having to like listen to it over and over because I feel like that creates a glitch. But it was like one of the things was everything's always working out for me. And I heard something today where it was like when you just decide something's like, so instead of saying I'm manifesting it, I manifested it. It's done. I manifested it. Because everything exists already. Every idea, every intrigue that you have, it exists. The possibility of it exists, right? So you're just deciding to move your consciousness into that plane of existence where that experience lies. So it's this idea of like, you already manifested it, and then you can say, doesn't matter what it looks like out here. That's all bridge of incidence. So even if it looks unfavorable, it doesn't matter. It's all bridge of incidence. It's all part of getting you to that thing, for that to show up. And it's okay to notice like that it's like, hasn't manifested, like, or hasn't presented in your 3D yet. It doesn't mean that it's not there. I don't know if that makes any sense. So for you, I just feel like really going in and doing some of the self-concept work, because I don't feel like it's, this is going to sound weird, feels related to third grade for you, around that age. So 8, 9, maybe that's why I brought up my daughter. I feel like that was such a big transition year for you. And just like not feeling like you measured up. Like, I feel like you went from this period of being like happy, happy, happy. So I don't know if like divorce occurred in your family, or mom became depressed, or something happened, because I just feel like I'm not measuring up, and I feel like I'm not measuring up with friends. I'm not connecting in there. And we get echoes of that in our adult life, of like just not feeling right about things. Does that make any sense? I'm sorry I rambled like that. It just, just waiting patiently or impatiently, whichever you think I do. I am pretty impatient, though. I watched back one of these. I'm still trying to find this thing of a prediction I did for somebody. It's driving me crazy, because I really like, I know you think I'm interesting, but imagine watching yourself for hours and hours trying to find one fucking reading. It's exhausting. You're impatient. Misty, are you there? Are you okay? You know what? Fuck. I really hate that, like, I mean, I appreciate that YouTube thinks that I really need a top chat, because it's going to be so busy. Yes. So I was rambling. I started talking about, for your reading, because the hopelessness and stuff, and I was talking about looking at your, wherever Aries is in your chart, and seeing how, like, first of all, Saturn moving out of Pisces, Saturn in Pisces is sort of this, like, it's not happy there. And it's like a lot of looking deep within and all the hidden aspects. That's what's been going on. So I feel like some of the hopelessness in that is connected to planetary changes in your chart. So look at where Saturn is going to be moving into Aries and harnessing that. So Aries for me is the first house, because I'm an Aries rising. And so that to me is like, it's about like, how am I going to show up in the world? How do I want to present myself for the next 30 years, essentially? You heard that, look for the birth year. Okay. So then I said something about, that I was looking at how I've been listening to affirmations, and just talked about high frequency guru. And then I mentioned the thing about, I felt like there was a big thing that happened for you in third grade, where there was a big shift and change in who you are. So that's around the age of 8 or 9. And how your mother, there's something with your mom, but I also just feel like almost like this giant shift identity wise of not feeling like enough. So I don't know if your family went through a divorce or something happened where there was a big shift, but it just felt like I went from being like kind of this like happy, bouncy little girl to like a little more withdrawn. Those years are a blur. I just remember having a crush on a boy in third grade. His name was Scott, because he really knew his times tables. I wonder if I could still be impressed by that. Maybe. um, I know, like, I'm like looking at other reasons why, because I don't feel like, hang on, third grade was hard. I had a crazy teacher, and I'm sure there was tension at home. I just feel like some of the stuff like creates echoes into our adulthood of those things because it's like subconscious beliefs. Because it's a feeling of not feeling like you're enough or not measuring up. I mean, I had a teacher in my gym teacher in sixth grade. We were poor. And my mom was like, my mom was not present. My mom was like, she was left for work before I got up in the morning, and she didn't come home from work or school because she was going to school at the same time until after I went to bed. So I was literally raising myself, had to figure out meals, everything. And I was borrowing $1 every day from this girl. We used the word term borrow, but we know that wasn't paying her back. And I would get a Coke and a thing of tater tots for lunch every day because that's what I could afford on $1. We could afford, like, we qualified for free lunches when I was little. My mom would not get them. Would have made my life a little easier, I think. So the gym teacher decided to, rather than like confront me about it and be like, hey, what's going on? She decided to like stand me up in front of everybody and make an example out of me and was like, don't ever lend her money again. And I just think like sometimes that like things that happen like that, even if it's not like a continual, it's not this like big trauma thing, whatever, but that can carry stuff with you throughout your entire like life. So it's like there's something that happened in third grade that I feel like carries this, like, which it shouldn't have been that big of an event, right? But it affected you in a way where you get these like moments of hopelessness. And I feel like it's echoes of that. What a lovely day. We're doing the Oracle card readings after I do the paid readings. I should put that on there, but I don't want to make the title really long because it's already long enough. But if you want to hang out and listen, because I promise you'll snag something from this. So I just feel like there's two things that, awesome. There's two things that I'm feeling like called to tell you to do is like sort of this idea of working on the self-concept stuff and like kind of looking at that shadow, that last little bit of shadow stuff, and figure out like maybe start with the affirmations of saying to yourself, like, I am enough. Like, of course I'm enough. Like going back and working on that. Like the first journal prompt I have for the community sort of will help you with this too. And then the other thing I feel like is like your house, if the energy is stagnant in your house, I just feel like, and I know it's cold, but if you can open your windows and like just let some energy out, you can do like smoke clearing and cleansing. You can do all that, but I don't always recommend it for people because I always think like, I mean, there's so many sensory issues in my house that it can be wildly overwhelming for them. You can also like, but I just feel like opening the window feels like needing to get air movement through your house, and energy movement through your house would be beneficial for you. And I also feel like there's a period of this that happens for like over the next couple of weeks, you're just going to have this kind of like feeling like you're a little bit of a slump. And then I feel like by the 26th, you're out of it. The house is making you crazy. It's not good for my well-being. It's been staged for renovations for, oh my God. I've only been in it for a couple of weeks and I'm like, I'm ready to be done. And I have like, they're demoing the hall bathroom tomorrow. And I'm like, oh, it's like still another couple of weeks. And it's more that like, I feel like I get stuck here at the house and like, I can't. And then also just like, they're very nice people that are working here. Like I'm not, they're not intrusive. They're not, they're actually pretty quiet and very respectful, but like, I mean, quiet as far as you could be with construction, but like energetically, there's just somebody always in my space and I don't feel like I can fully relax. Piles everywhere. Lady, I know that. So Saturn is about movement and changes and moving forward. So Saturn in Aries, I don't know where, but maybe that'll help move that energy forward and create it. It's about like creating consistency and patterns and habits. And I think that's good energy for me right now. Okay. Do you want any clarification or do you want to know a little bit something else? I just feel like you're looking for something else. You're welcome. I was like so excited to. So Stu had all this, like he used to do like have a smoker with like wood and charcoal and all of that, and smoked meats. But it broke, and he never replaced it. So I had like, kidding you not, 7 bags of charcoal in my garage. So I gave it to one of my friends whose husband is their family's all into Boy Scouts. I was like, here. And I threw out like all this wood that he was using because I was like, I just can't. So I just started like clearing out my garage and slowly clearing out other things. Just and then my contractor's like, you want to throw anything in the dumpster? I was like, yes. Like I get it. I could if I could, there's so much stuff I'd throw out. I'm waiting. It's gonna happen one day. The timing will be right. Okay. I think I moved a lot as a kid, but then becoming a travel nurse really, I, I stopped being attached. Well, so moving a lot as a kid, I don't have like attachments to houses. So my kids are like, this is our home. And this is the longest I've ever lived anywhere. It's like 13 years. I've never lived anywhere this long. So I don't have an attachment to a house. It's just a building. Your home is wherever you make it, right? So that, like, to me, I don't have like I could never, like, I'm like, whatever, we can. But I also don't have attachment to stuff really either, just because when I was a travel nurse, I stuck almost my entire apartment in a storage facility for 2 years. And then like I took 5 boxes out of it and got rid of the rest of it when I went down to Houston to get my car and bring it up here. And I realized I paid for storage for a bunch of shit that I didn't need. Like it just you replace stuff. There's not really much that has, like, there's sentimental things I have, but they're all small family items. They're not, and pictures and things like that. But like otherwise stuff is just stuff. So if I'm like, I can get rid of it, it's fine. Let's go. Throw it out. It thawed here for a couple days, and I went for a walk yesterday, and I got like we live like in a wooded area, whatever. And my like whole everything is just sorry. Okay, that was Misty. Tabitha, what's your question? Then Regine, Catherine. I had a client last weekend who I read for, and I checked in on her because it was like sort of like needing to set boundaries. And it was interesting because she said like set boundaries with some family members, and because she needed to really kind of put herself first and taking care of herself. And I was like, how did it go? She's like, once I did it, like it was great. And she goes, and I think maybe there might be some people that are still annoyed. And I was like, when you decide you want to do something in life, there's always going to be somebody who has an opinion about it. You can't worry about everybody's opinion. Like, especially when you're setting boundaries, like the people who need the boundaries the most are going to be the most uncomfortable with you deciding to do it. And they're going to give you the most pushback. I used to get called like bossy and controlling by my sisters because it was really bored, because I was just like, well, I'm really fucking direct when I talk to people, and I don't mean to be, but I mean, why beat around the bush? That's probably my tease. But I actually have to remind myself to like be like, okay. I mean, I say please and thank you, but I sometimes forget like all the niceties that you're supposed to do etiquette wise beforehand. And I'm like, hey, can you do this? um, but also because I was setting boundaries and asking them not to do things, and so I don't know why I'm telling you. I'm just like vomiting out stuff. Sorry. I'm looking for something. This is what I'm looking for. Okay, that's it. All right, Tabitha, are you here? I don't know if you're here. Regine or Catherine, you guys can just put your questions in. We'll just do it that way. It's easier. Oh, it was Katrina yesterday. kept wanting to say Katerina, but I'm like, that's not right. Hello? Crickets. Is anyone here? Anyone want to put in their questions? Okay, so I'm going to ramble about manifesting then for a minute if y'all are still. Oh, there you are, Miss Regine. May I start with a general, please? Always, of course. Hi, McKeekan. How are you? It's been a while. Okay. Hey, wait, did you end up going live, Regine, on New Year's? Did you decide to do that? I'm trying to figure out what this is showing me because it's this idea of like, it's definitely metaphorical. Sorry. It looks like it looks like soil being turned, like you're turning soil. It's like a big pitchfork, but then there's gears in it. I don't understand this. Uh, it's definitely not literal. It's like it's this idea of feeling like you're making big changes, but you're doing like I don't know much about gardening or farming or anything else, but I do remember at one point my dad and my stepmom put in a whole bunch of garden beds and they like had to till up the soil and add fresh stuff in. And I feel like that's sort of the stage you're at. Like you finally made a decision about how you're moving through things, and it feels like business wise, but it also feels a little personal on like making decisions about where you're going to live. But I feel like this is still like the really like you're energetically or intentionally adding certain aspects to the soil to make it more rich. So it's not even seeding time yet, right? But it's like the things that you're doing and the moves that you're making are creating a rich soil and foundation for the manifestations that you're going to be like you haven't even like they're not even a thought on your mind yet, but they're going to be coming in. If that makes sense. Ooh, let me see that. Sorry. I'll button that one. Not even planting the seeds yet. So it's like this idea, they talk about like, you know, I can't get this buttoned. I mean, it's just a bra, but like whatever. I mean, I wear less at the pool. Oh, buttons there. There. That way I don't have to like click to my shirt the whole time. It's this idea that like how like if you listen to Neville Goddard, he's like when you plant the seed, you don't till it up in order to see if it's grown. It's that same idea, except for you're 2 steps before that. Like you're sort of the things that you're doing now and the foundations and like all the energy and intentions you're putting into now, you think this is going to manifest that, but it's not. This is preparing for you for the bigger stuff you're actually going to be manifesting. Yes. So like as much as you think, oh, I'm manifesting this now, like I'm putting this up, like you think you're planting the seeds now and they're like, oh no. So it's this idea that like bigger things are happening that you're not even aware of yet at the foundations you're creating right now. I don't understand the gears in there, like, the little metal, like with the teeth, the circles, those kind of gears, like not like the actual whatever. I don't understand that aspect of it. So they're talking about like as much as you think you're doing now, whatever you're doing now is actually much bigger for what's to come, but they're not showing me what that means. And it's not necessarily about like to me it feels more like long-term wealth, long-term stability, um, long-term steady multiple streams of income. I still feel like you're going to be owning property and owning other businesses and things. That this is like that's not a dream that you've moved out of. You feel the same, yeah. Um, I feel like your dad's energy is lighter now. I don't know why that just popped in. I can't like a cold, hot, cold, hot. Um, is he not doing well? Is he okay? Has he mentioned seeing either like his mom or there's a female energy that either it's like I don't know if your mom has passed, but there's a female energy I feel like around him, but I feel like it's in spirit. I hate trying to find the curls and catch them. They're like little fish. Wait, there we go. I should just do that with my eyes closed. I can figure it out better. Look at that. Close your eyes. Be blind. They pulled one of his teeth this week. Your mom lives with him. Then it's his mom. There's somebody around him in spirit. So he may start mentioning either like dreaming about his mom or seeing his mom, but there's something about her being around. Okay. And it'll be over the next couple months. And I also feel like I feel like he's going to be nice. Like I feel like some of his orneriness is going to like go away or take a back seat for a little bit. Do you want to wait on your second question or? I literally just heard to keep going, like whatever direction you're doing, like whatever you're doing with like growing and changing. Also, are you thinking of I know that you've talked about moving, but I also feel like you're moving where you're filming or you do your content creation or you're packing it up and doing something different because I kept seeing that too, like packing boxes or moving stuff around or clearing stuff out. There's something about that and it feels like around the readings that you do. You will. Remember, I've said that for a while. Like I was like, I feel like you're gonna live alone. I don't feel like you're gonna live with your sister. And even the idea, like, yeah, it was like I'm like keep like thinking like roommate. I'm like, no, I don't think you're getting a roommate. I understand that. When I moved to New York, so I grew up like, in Texas and Wisconsin essentially. So like Texas till I was 14, and then I moved to Wisconsin and went to high school and college there, and then moved back to Texas for 5 years of doing nursing, like in Austin and Houston. And then when I came to New York, and so like went to all different kinds of churches trying to figure out what I believed, because like what I was experiencing and knew God to be, right, whatever God is, which is, it's all just words, but knew God to be was like not lining up with what I saw in churches. So when I came to New York, I was like, I felt free to like explore my spirituality and figure out what I believed without worrying about someone praying for my soul or telling me I was working with the devil, though people still tell me that. And I'm going to tell you, I work with some of the best little demons ever. So she has a hard time with your smudging. I think it's funny when people like think those things are weird, because I'm like, well, the Catholic Church smudges essentially with their frankincense little, I don't know what they call it, the frankincense burner. Now this is really annoying me. I'm gonna go back, but I'm not gonna show my boobies, okay? So don't worry. So can I ask what's going to Tampa Friday she's going to Tampa for Friday for a new job. I think you have two sisters, right? Can you tell me which one, her first name? I think she is moving there, because I heard when you asked that question, I heard yes. And like it feels very quick. So yeah, I feel like she will. I just feel like, and I feel like it's really quick. You don't want to move there, she thinks. Oh, you're not. You're not going there. Mm-mm. You're fine. You're not going there. I remember, so when I moved out, so I was doing the travel nursing thing, and I was still paying rent back in Houston in the house that I had rented for so my sister had been living in Austin. She was having a hard time finding a job. So I was like, I'll rent a place that I can afford for both of us while you get on your feet. And then like, once you have a job, blah, blah, blah. And she got a good job in finance after a couple months. But like, she also would like be like, oh, I can't afford these bills or whatever. And like my dad and my stepmom were living there for a little bit when they moved back to Houston and staying in my room. And I was still paying rent and paying all the bills, and they were like paying her part and whatever. I was like, why? What the fuck is happening here? And so like eventually our lease was up. I put all my stuff in storage, but she was like, oh, he said we can stay another month or two. And I was like, no, no. And I feel like that's where you're at, where it's like, this is the perfect exit. It's the perfect way to make a break, because you need it, and it gives you a reason like, oh, she's moving there, and it gives you a really nice safe out without feeling like you're gonna create some kind of trauma or turmoil that's unnecessary. Sometimes it's just like good to not live with certain people. Here, there. I will always play with my hair. If I'm literally staring at myself in a chat, I can't help it. Like what? So if you don't like it or it's weird to you, I don't know what to tell you. Stare at yourself for a while. You'll start to see things that need to get fixed. I have no media training. I don't care. So yeah, there's that. But I think she'll go, and I feel like it's quick. Like it feels like it's it doesn't feel like this long drag out interview period. It feels like it's quick when it happens. Let's just shadow. Okay. All right. Tabitha or Catherine. And then I really want to share some manifesting stuff with you guys because that's been heavy on my brain lately about how we overcomplicate it, but also you can make it fun too. She had a 13-week training. Okay. So, but like they're wanting to move her will be quick. It doesn't feel like, I almost feel like this is what I almost feel like happens. Maybe your lease isn't quite up yet. She still pays the rent for a little bit, but they put her in housing there. So it's like, it works out to where she's able to do that. Will I get the writing center job or at least a good job for the summer? Yes. Didn't we talk about this before? Sometimes you have to let things unfold. And that's a very hard part of this. And I know it, and I'm saying it like genuinely as someone who, I know things are coming in my life. Like literally, I know things are like inevitable. Certain experiences, certain relationships, certain connections where I know, but I have to like sit here and wait for it to all process through. And it's really fucking annoying because I want to just like, let's go. Let's get like, why am I having to wait? But like certain things have to unfold here in order for it to be like the right timing per se. And like I have to pretend that I don't know that it's coming. So I can't be like all crazy and overzealous and be like, oh my God. So I know what that is to have to be patient to wait through things. Don't feel bad asking your next one. But my point is like, yes, you are. I still feel like, and I think I told you last time, this hasn't changed, that it's something within that center, but I feel like it's not the exact job that you're applying for, that it's like, there's like either they create a new one or they're like, hey, we're doing this, or they add a different description. They're like, well, you could do this, but we also feel like this is a better fit for you. I don't know, but you're going to have a good job this summer. This is not the wage you're going to get, but it's the feeling. I'm going to tell you this because this was like when I was in college way back when. Oh my God. Like it was a good deal if you had a $10 an hour job. Like that was, and it was like, so I got a job eventually as a student nurse intern. I worked nights on the weekends and a couple nights a week. I worked a lot. But I got $10 an hour. And I was like, that was so sweet because most of the jobs I could get in college were like $5 an hour. So I feel like whatever you're doing, like, yes, and you're going to be paid nicely too. Like it's going to feel like, it feels like a sweet job. And the hospital was getting a really good deal paying only $10 an hour because I had a full set of patients. And it was like, they always gave me the end of life patients. So there's like always like one night we had to bring this guy down to the morgue at midnight. And there was like another body in there. It was like weird. And we had to bring him down because at midnight there was no support staff in the hospital. So like it was kind of creepy. It was like, cause there was like bloody sheets, like I think maybe from the ER, like they didn't do a great job. Like, I can't believe they left somebody down there like that, but like, yeah, anyway. And then old men walking down the hall with their gowns open and like no underwear. Like, very interesting experiences at night. Anyway, when you're 20, that's like not the view you want. It's like old man drag. Anyway. Oh, okay. Will you get into Northwestern? Yeah. There's a caveat though. Like I feel like it's either are you applying like in spring or for like a weird session that's like not the fall session? Because I feel like it's like either a different start time or it's not undergrad or it's like a special program. There's something like, because when I think about applying, I think about freshman year, like for your undergrad we're going in the fall. And so it feels like, yes, but it's like something different about it for fall next year. Would it be potential for, God dang it, I just cannot, hang on. I don't know why I'm cold, but this is like blowing on me and I'm really hot then. Hang on, let me turn it like that and see if that helps. So it's like, okay, nothing showing. That's just the way the sweater's going. Okay, sorry. It's like, would it be potential for you to go like in the summer first to start to take a course in the summer where they're like, you can do this, but there's just something different about it. Oh, it's for graduate. So that's what it is then, I guess. But would they offer for you to start in the summer or your course to start a little bit earlier, or you take something a little bit earlier? Like you get in, but they're like, oh, we have this and you can, if you want to take this before, you can. I feel like my cousin went to Northwestern. I don't think she went to Loyola. I think she went to Northwestern. She's still in Chicago. What's my second cousin? She's a huge hockey fan. And I was like, she's so funny because she's like, we'll go to hockey games. I'm like, okay. Like she's supposed to come out here. She does editing, I think. But I was telling her about Heated Rivalry. If you guys watch, if you have HBO, you should watch it. It's not to watch with your children. Maybe read about it first because I'm making a blatant statement. I think it's a great show. No, but I could move there in summer. Maybe that's what it is. You're looking into doing a year at Naropa and then transferring. And is that what you think? No, that's not what I think. What is Naropa? What does that stand for? No, that's not what I think. And maybe you don't even know about it yet. It might be just like, oh, we have this course. If you want to take it, you can. There's an opening. It's a Buddhist university. Yeah, no, that's not my feeling. I feel like you'll get in. You'll be fine. This is them. This is not me. No judgment. But it's like, they're sort of saying like, you don't have enough confidence in yourself. It's sort of the imposter syndrome. This is the time, Saturn moving into Aries. This is the time to be like, imposter syndrome, no more. Like you're smart enough. You have enough education under your belt, like stand in your power. They're arguing with me. Kind of lecturing you so I'm like, I don't know, do I pass that on? It's just sort of this idea of like, you sort of have to decide that you're enough already. Not even sort of, you have to decide that you're enough, that you're smart enough, that you're valuable enough, that your wisdom and knowledge and insights matter and they're valuable to other people. And you're not going to be able to acquire enough degrees to satisfy that feeling of not being enough until you just decide that you're enough. I'm so happy you're here. There's never a late time. There's always the perfect time. You show up when you need to show up. Hi, Gabby. How are you? Good to see you. I'm so excited that Julia's here. We've missed your energy. I'm always excited that everybody's here. Nobody get offended. I just sometimes, like we haven't seen KK in a while. Maybe she'll show up because I mentioned her. Calling her in intuitively. Sure, go ahead, Gabby. That was very lucky of them to have you to help. Okay. Do you have another question, Catherine? And then Tabitha, are you here? I don't know if you have a different screen name, but that's what I got for your PayPal payment. I mean, you put your question in the thing. I guess I can answer that, but it's not. Could you tell me if my donor knows? Oh, Juniper. These are paid readings. Is that because of a DV thing situation that you're wondering about safety? All right, I'm going to answer that one just because I feel like, but normally these are paid readings. Oh, community bullies. Oh, normally these are paid readings. So I feel like I want to say that, like, then you can have a free Oracle card reading if you want, but they're paid. They're $12. It's not much. I like really honestly, and I donate 30% to the Community Food Bank of New Jersey because food scarcity is real. Um, um, yes, Catherine, I will come up with them. So I feel like you're safe right now, but in like a year you will move, and I don't feel like it's out of safety. I just feel like that's when the opportunity is for you to move, and you move. So I'll leave it at that. But for future, if you come here, please, payments are appreciated. Okay, Catherine, will you beat the weight plateau soon? So, I mean, there's an energetic bit to it. I'm going to tell you like I tell everybody else, fiber is your friend. So if you think about, okay, too much time is spent, I feel like, on weight loss. When you see things, it's like you move more, calories in, calories out, blah, blah, but really it's about blood sugar control. Like flat out, it's about like, so you're not getting the big spikes and the big pits. You're wanting to look at blood sugar control. When you look at it that way, and you don't have to check your blood sugar all the time, it's just like more fiber in your diet, focus on fiber, fat, and proteins. Because fat's not bad. Your brain needs fat. You even need carbs, but you can get carbs through fiber. Like you don't, this like carbs are not evil. Nothing is evil. Nothing is bad. I mean, sugar's not great, but focus on fiber and protein. And then I keep feeling like needing more movement. So it's not like go work out and lift heavy and all of that. Just like go for a walk. Um, it's sort of about changing that up a little bit will help you. But I feel like fiber is really important for you. Feeding your gut, like fiber, that's what fiber does, feed your gut. And then it like slows down your digestive rate and at the rate at which things burn through. So then you're dragging out that energy component a little bit more rather than getting either the big spikes and not. So like same thing with fat. Fat helps you slow down the digestion. So if I had a diabetic patient and I had the option to give them pudding, I would give them a full fat pudding versus like a light low fat pudding because it or a whole milk versus a 2% milk because there is a naturally occurring lactose sugar in milk. So you want to like expand the burn time on that, right? So it's a slow burn versus a quick. You only walk the dog. So here's the other thing you can do. Because if you're looking at it as it is, my goal is to maintain a normal, like, because you don't want to get the big spikes of blood sugar spikes, right? Because then either your insulin's not working right, whatever. That's where you start. Your insulin resistance is what's putting on fat. I mean, that's what, like, when people want to lose weight, they want to lose fat. They don't want to lose muscle. They want to lose fat. And you get more fat stores, A, just by being a woman, and B, by not maintaining healthy insulin level and glucose level within your body. So you don't want big spikes. You don't want, if you add more fiber in your diet, you don't get that munchy, cravey type thing. You don't get really sleepy the way that sometimes glucose can do for you. And then the movement, if you don't get out and walk after you eat, like for like a 10-minute walk, or do like, I just like to do a big walk in the morning usually. Can't do it with the guys working here. It's so annoying. Because I don't like to leave my house for long periods of time. Long story, you don't care. Like march in place, do these things called, because there's studies that prove this, where you do like calf raises. Like you literally just sit in a chair while you're sitting watching TV or scrolling or whatever and move your calves, because it will help actually push, like use the insulin to open the doorways to push the glucose out of your blood and into your muscles and into your to be used. And also like you don't get the big spikes then, right? Because you're using the glucose. So there's studies on it, calf raises, like just anything. Because you want to look at it like, not like I have to lose weight. It's like I have to like figure out this blood sugar thing, because when I do that, it will make everything that much easier. And movement is a huge thing for that. But if you can't, or you're just like, I don't have the motivation, just do calf raises. Start somewhere. It doesn't matter where you start somewhere and just be consistent. That's it. Like this idea, like, oh my God, I got to go work out and work heavy and do all this stuff. It's like, what are you going to do that's going to keep you consistent? Don't follow somebody's pie in the sky plan, because if you're not going to stay consistent with it, it's pointless and you're putting yourself through torture and you're lying to yourself. And then you feel self-defeated and you're setting yourself up for failure. And it's not about failure. Like you can't fail if you're just trying. I know that sounds weird, but like just movement is great. And it doesn't have to be anything major or crazy. I'm sure your dogs would like to go for more walks. Take them on a walk. The other thing is like movement throughout the day. So like pick a really huge number to try and go like when I was trying to do 10,000 steps a day, I really underperformed. But when I decided I would do 15 for whatever reason, I do great with that. Like some people's brains need a little bit more. Like, I don't know. And then find something that brings you joy. So what if it's like jumping rope or dancing, or it doesn't matter. Like it doesn't have to look like what the fitness industry tells you need to look like. And like this idea where it's like, you gotta have muscle. It's like, okay, like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, I like doing ice skating because it brings me joy. I probably will never build big muscly body because my body is not built like that. Genetically, I'm not going to look that way. I started getting some shoulder caps and stuff at a point, but then like also was getting shoulder injuries and things because I have hypermobility and like I have to modify stuff so much. And it's also like, I don't know, I don't enjoy it that much. I don't enjoy going and lifting and stuff like, but if I have a purpose for doing it, which is like building certain muscles to make ice skating better, I'll do it that way. You have to work with your brain and the way your brain works, because if you're trying to make your brain fit into somebody else's mold, you're not going to be consistent with it and it's going to suck and you're going to hate it. And then you're going to hate yourself. And that's stupid because there's no reason to do that. Like that plan, like it's not a plan for everybody. So just find what works for you. And maybe it is just doing calf raises to start. And then you get motivated. You're like, hey, I actually feel better. I have a little bit more motivation. Maybe I'll go for a walk. You put on a podcast and instead of sitting watching, I clean the house. It happens so much faster than thinking about it. Exactly. I put stuff on and just, I gotta tell you, my husband moving out really helped my motivation to do stuff, which is terrible. But I'm really sensitive to energies, and he's kind of like an Eeyore energy. He's just like, he never has a good day, and we aren't compatible in many ways. He's not a, whatever. But like anything helps. When did that happen? In November. November. You have missed so much. See, lady, It's like coming back to, did you ever watch Days of Our Lives? Was that a show for you? Because I remember like I would watch it during the summers in high school because I was home, right? Or I could be around to watch it, or I didn't record it. And then in college I was able to watch it. But like when you could take long breaks and you could still kind of figure out what's happening. But I remember coming back one time and like Marlena was possessed. And then John was no longer John. He was a priest. And then there was a new John Black. So this is what that is for you. This is your new soap opera. My point being, like, there are different things that will keep you stuck. And sometimes you have to just make decisions to just go and then be consistent. And it may not show up, like the results you're looking for may not show up overnight, but they will show up. Okay. And I will always recommend fiber to people. My grandmother is so funny because she was like so obsessed with having fiber. And then like my mom was like, you're like gummy. Because I'm like, oh, you just make this on your own or just do this. Or she's like, oh. And I'm like, I don't know. I liked my grandma. She was a shitty mom to her kids, but she was good to me. Okay, Tabitha wanted to know what her guides needed her to know right now. I might just email her and tell her to come back on live next time since she's not here. Okay. You want to do some oracle card readings? Or wait, Gabby, did you pay for a reading? You said you wanted to. Yes, you did. Okay. Gabby, do you have a question? I was just talking about, oh, you were just talking about Marlena's possession? I mean, and then like, I think there was a new Stefano. Stefano changed to be somebody else. Like there's a lot of interesting, like I watched it back when Carrie and Frankie were together. I think that's who they were. I mean, and then all the different iterations of. Yeah. So I think it's Astro Cafe you can get. I looked at, so that's for the Placidus. I think that's the chart. Vedic astrology is totally different. Like in Vedic astrology, I think I'm an Aquarius moon, whereas here I'm a Pisces moon on Placidus. But like, it's very interesting how there's some difference between them. I can't remember what I was watching was talking about the difference between them. Most people in the West are Vedic, or I'm sorry, are Placidus, or there's another name for it. Here, wait, this is in Vedic astrology. I am, so they have nakshanas. Oh, I don't know. I think it's Astro Cafe is the one you would want. It'll also tell you a little bit about it. Don't use any of the AI stuff to do astrology. I mean, you can ask general stuff, but like I threw in there about like what would be a good time, like according to my birth chart, what would be a good time to release the community this week. And it said, first of all, it said Tuesday the 14th, and I was like, yeah, the 14th is a Wednesday. So then I was like, and then I was like, what about like, and then I had asked my friend too because I just wanted to see. And all my astrologer friends have always said, like, don't use the AI stuff. But I wanted to see, like, okay, let's look at it. You can't. So they don't have void course of moon or something like that. I think that's how you say it. They don't have any of that stuff, but your astrology friends will know that. So like my friend, I was like, well, when's a good time? And she's like, wait until Friday, like basically Thursday, Friday, wait till then. So because of that, the new moon then being in Capricorn. Yeah. So I was looking at this Vedic astrology thing just to see the difference. Because I think it's just different ways of reading, much like somebody doing tarot versus what I do. Just different ways of doing it. I mean, I'm sure the astrology folks would be like, oh, it's so different. It's not even a comparison, but You're Scorpio rising Vedic and a Sagittarius rising. Yeah, it's interesting like how different they are, but they're still like when I was looking at my rising sign, it was like talking or sorry, my moon sign was talking about like what it means and I was like, "Oh yeah, that's totally me." Like I am like it's like somebody who likes to study and sort of likes to needs their alone time and I'm like, "Yeah." I mean, I honest to God, I study enough hours of different things. I should have a full-time job for it to be a professional, but it's just wasting time to everybody else. um, so, so I would like it Cafe Astro Cafe for doing your Western astrology birth chart. I think it's Placidus is the one that usually is like the one that automatically generates, and then sometimes you can change what if you want Placidus or tropical or whatever. Excuse me. You find it so complicated, but well, we have so many Libra traits. It's very accurate for me. Yeah, I think, and I've told because I've had several astrology friends try to teach it to me, and it's one of those things that I just think it will for me will happen over time, and it's more like I'm always having to look up what's that symbol, what does that mean, and really look at definitions for stuff. But and I tell them like it's like learning Russian. It's just such a totally different. There's no. I just told them it's easier to be psychic. It's just easier to like do this. But what I find it so fascinating and interesting. And then looking at how you can use energy to work with you. Like, so manifesting, you literally can just be like, okay, this is what I wanted to share with y'all. So I've thought a lot about how this idea of like where people worry about are you manipulating somebody else, right? Like if you're wanting to manifest an SP or if you're wanting to manifest a job, right? Or your boss to show up a certain way or people to show up a certain way in relationships, good, bad, like whatever, friendships, neighbors, whatever. There's a good out called Cosmic Insight for Vedic Astrology. Oh, I'll have to write that down. Hang on, let me write this down. Cosmic Insight. Okay. So your psychic gifts are so fast. Yeah. I mean, it's just easier. I just go, okay. But, so you can't worry about manipulating anybody or if it's right for you or whatever. And here's why. So I've always talked about that there's of this character you're playing, this avatar, right? This lifetime experience, there's infinite possibilities because there's infinite planes of existence that like are this one, right? And then every other life that you live, and I believe that they are all simultaneous because time happens all at once. So there's from your experience, there's infinite possibilities, and any desire that you get exists, right? You're tapping into that place. So when you start manifesting and moving into that of like, whatever, I don't know, pick something. I make $1,000 a day. You're going to move into that timeline where you're making $1,000 a day or whatever, 20,000 a week, whatever you want to do. Right. So that possibility exists because you have that desire. So you're moving into that. Now, if you're thinking like, well, I want this person to show up this way and be this person, also remember that you're not manipulating them because you're maneuvering to that timeline. And in the same essence, when you're like, well, when you say like, I'm the operant power in my experience and everybody sort of has to fall in line. Well, guess what? That person over there also has infinite experiences that they can move to. So they're doing their own thing and you're moving to the timeline where they show up as that way. And they're still doing their own thing. Like their consciousness, their higher self is also. Because infinite means literally infinite for all of us. Like there is no limit and our little brains can't work around it. So I guess I'm just saying when you're manifesting, don't feel guilty about anything and everything that you want and every experience that you want to have because they all exist and you're not controlling or stepping on anybody else. They still have free will because their consciousness will move into those other experiences. Like our consciousness is not limited to one experience at one time. That is why when like you're like, oh, let me talk to my loved one. They're out doing their other thing. You're not stopping them. they can be in multiple places at once and experience multiple places. When I connect with a loved one, I will oftentimes see them all at the same time, sitting next to me, sitting like within me, so I feel as if I'm them, and sitting in front of me at the same time. And I'm experiencing it all at once. So what I'm saying to you is like infinite. So stop feeling guilty about wanting what you want. Stop questioning whether or not it's morally acceptable or okay, because it's all happening. It doesn't matter. So like, if you're like, I want this person back and there's a third party, or I want this person and there's a third party, you're not hurting anyone or manipulating anyone or getting in the middle of anybody's relationship. Because if you're thinking that way, you're thinking on a very one experience linear path, and that's not the way the world works, or the universe, or this experience of humanness works. And I fully believe, one, that it's unexpanded minds that sort of think that way, but also minds that want to keep control because they're also unexpanded, because you're not really in control of anything other than your own choices and experiences. So that's that. So like when you're, so then when you go, it's done. Like I said, I already manifested this thing. I'm moving into that timeline, whatever, like I'm, it's all I'm waiting for the experience. I don't want to say waiting. Like, I don't even know how to say it. There's a way to say it. So higher self me knows I already have it. Lower self me is like waiting for everything to unfold to have that experience, even though lower self me, experience avatar me, knows I have it. That makes sense? Because lower self me needs everything to unfold that way as that experience. So it's done. I have it. It's fine. And when your nervous system kicks in, is like, but what if the doubt kicks in? I heard somebody say, like, if the doubt kicks in, that means that like that's your old self trying to hold on and grip you back. So that means you're doing something right. So it allows you to sort of stay calm and chill about stuff and not feel like you need to like do anything. And also, when you've created it here, like if you're like, some people, I heard someone say like, you shouldn't want a specific person. And I'm like, well, that's a limiting belief. You could want a specific person if you want. So if your nervous system kicks in, you're just going to go like, doesn't matter, because I know I have it. It's done. It's fine. Like you literally have to talk to it like it's a toddler. Like, no, I get it. I talked to my kids, like my 9-year-old the other morning. She was like, I didn't finish my math homework because she was so tired the day before. And I was like, when she gets really tired, she just does not process anything like that. So I was like, it's fine. Like, I'll send an email to your teacher. It's fine. Don't worry about it. But oh my God, you have to do it right now. I'm like, no, I don't. It's fine. Like, it'll be okay. I promise. And it's that's like my nervous system going, oh my God. And I'm like, it's fine. It doesn't matter. Because the other idea is like the other affirmation and mantra I've done is like, it's mine. I can't fuck it up. There's nothing I can do to mess that one up. That experience is done. It's mine. I cannot screw it up. I can't say the wrong thing. I can't, speaking of her teacher, I can't say the wrong thing. I can't do the wrong thing. I can't be too weird. I can't be too much. Like, that experience is mine. It's done. So if you're manifesting an SP, like, it doesn't matter. Like, anything you do, you can't mess it up. They only like you more. They only find you more intriguing and more magnetic, whatever. Intoxicating, maybe. Like, you want the experience of working with that person, you can't screw it up. You can't say the wrong thing. You can't, whatever. Like, it doesn't matter. It's fine. It all works. Like, you just get to decide. Let's do the Oracle card readings. You've been patient enough with my ramblings. All right. If you know the deck you want, say it. If not, I will show you the decks I have. I really wish I could use this deck because I think it's really pretty, but the explanations were never edited well. And so it's somebody who I don't know. Anyways, trust your vibes. inner child. Don't forget, if you want to join a community, join my email list on my website, and I will be sending out an email this week for when it launches. Hi, Violets for Roses. How are you? This one is the Magic and Mediums, Wisdom of the Oracle, Green Witch, Past Life, Spirit Animal, the Crystal Wisdom, Women of Myth, Voice of the Souls. That's good for today. You got a new phone. You have to re-sign for emails. Yay! Do it. Oh, I was wondering. I saw you sign up for an email. I was like, why did she sign up? I thought she had them. That's weird. Makes sense. See, I put out that question into the universe and my question was answered. I don't know. Phones are weird. No, they're not. They're great. They're excellent. I said my contractor, he said something and I was like, don't put that into the universe. It was something about something breaking. And I was like, don't do that. Don't say that. Oh, you did need a reading. Okay. Yes, absolutely. Do you want to wait? Are you sure you want to wait till after, or do you want to do it now? It's your choice. You don't have to be nice. You can be a little bold and be like, no, actually, I want it right now. No, what do you want? How are you, Nicola? Sorry I know when you watch this back and you just see me because I've had to torture myself looking for this prediction. And I wish the person, because I know them in real life, would just be like, hey, so I got a reading from you. But I have to pretend like I don't know. I have to pretend like I'm a muggle. It's the worst thing ever. Do you know what that's like? I have to pretend like I'm a muggle. Like the world is so magical and I see all these really cool things and I can't say anything. It's the worst. Okay, everybody's going to wait. I'm just taking the list. Okay, great. Your mom's really into Harry Potter right now. It's so cute. I got into Harry Potter when it was first came out because I would go visit my grandma on spring breaks in college. And because my sisters, she was in San Antonio, my sisters are in Austin. So it was like they could come down and visit and hang out. And then I just loved my grandma. So never went on any like booze hound trips. So, I mean, my family drank enough for everybody, so it's fine. So I guess she was dropping me back off at the airport because at the time you could still go, and I guess you can do this now again. They're starting it again. But you can go to the gate and send off your people. So she like stopped by a little bookstore and she's like, you have to read this. And that's how I got into Harry Potter. I had to read it. You saw all the movies in the theater. It's funny. I have to wait. Like if there's a book, I have to wait a long time before I watch a movie, if it's created into a movie or a TV show, because otherwise I'm like very critical of it because the books have so much more detail and I don't know, character building. Like I remember I saw my cousin took us to see The Princess Bride when it opened in the theater way back when, and she had read the books and she was like, "Oh my God, they're packing for days and days. Like it's like." I don't think Dobby's creepy at all. I think he's cute in a weird, stinky critter way. Okay, so let's do your reading, Gabby. Okay. You just wanted a general? Ask the question you want to ask. Oh, I noticed. I want to say this to you is when I emailed you to check in on you, I was like, you need to talk to your body. And then I went back to like last week's because I was just watching it for, why was I watching that one? Sometimes I'm being a little more critical of myself. I think that's my Virgo and Pisces. my Venus and Virgo. I tend to be like whatever. I just like watching and figuring out whatever. Anyway, you don't care. My voice is rambling. So I said the same thing to you when I did your reading then. Oh my God, you've never seen Princess Bride? There's so many like great lines from it. Hello, my name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die. And there's As You Wish. So many. It's so good. You should watch it. Watch it. It's somewhere. You can stream it somewhere. I'm certain of that. She's all about sorting herself and got Ravenclaw. Oh, I love that. My daughter's a Ravenclaw. I'm a Hufflepuff, I think. Princess Bride is so good. It's so good. And it stands the test of time. It's not one of those you're like, oh, that's like, I don't know. It's very good. You have to watch it. In fact, I will find out where to watch it and tell you right now. That's it. This is your assignment. This is your spiritual assignment. Disney. You can stream it on Disney. That's it. Or Hulu, but you have to have the Disney. Wait, let's see. Can we do it on Netflix? I don't think so. If Disney has it, they're usually little stinkers about it. Yeah. Disney. That's where you're going to find it. Yeah, you can totally watch it with your 9-year-old granddaughter. It's totally fine. In fact, I think I was probably around that age when wait, is it 87? Oh God, y'all, I'm old. My, yeah, 1987. Yeah, that was not. No smut. There's no smut in it. And there's not, I don't even think there's swearing in it. Like it's very kid friendly. There might be kissing and he's like, ew, kissing. I think there's a kissing scene and he's like, ew, kissing. Cause it's like this, the basis of it is his grandfather telling his grandson the story because the grandson is sick. It's really cute. Yeah, that's a good one. She also took me to see Ferris Bueller's Day Off. And I had a Save Ferris t-shirt that I got because it was like an opening day thing. And I had a little journal that I wrote and I was like, I love Ferris Bueller. Probably around the same age. What can I say? My first crush ever was on, oh my God, that's embarrassing. I won't say it. Anyway. Oh, complete your assignment. Excellent. Oh, Star Wars is good too. Yeah. And when she's older, Spaceballs is really funny. Okay. Hmm. All right. So, Gabby, did you have a question or do you just want general? Oh, you always go back and rewatch Gabby? Yay. Someone does. You're not a sci-fi person? I think I love what is the I'm gonna put lists as like I like sci-fi. And I also like period pieces. I still like, don't like other stuff, but like I don't like horror movies. I was trying to explain to somebody, I was like, I just like I'm always in fight or flight mode. I kind of don't want to like relax to be in fight or flight mode. Like I don't know. I'm not so much anymore, but at a point I really was. And so I was like, I don't really want to like feel that way when I'm trying to relax. Okay. Yay. Gabby. Okay. It's so funny because I feel like you need to ask a question because I'm kind of in the spot of like there's not much that has changed so significantly in the last week that I feel like I'm kind of just giving you the same reading week after week. Um, I can feel like irritation, like little contractions happening. Gabby's still not had that baby. She needs to tell her to come out. Everybody's going to visualize it. Just kidding. Yeah, because it's like there's not. I mean, I hate to say this, but there's just not much different. Where I feel like I'm saying the same thing every week. That really, you need to talk to your baby and your body. Oh, how does my 2026 look for me? Thank you. Because last night they're getting pretty intense. Um, I think you're having some and you don't know you're having it because I feel like they're happening right now. So thank you. Let's do 2026 for you. Oh, thank God. Oh, that was weird. I know this, I think you might have a pediatrician change. And not I don't know if it's like they're I just feel like in the next couple of months there's going to be a pediatrician change. But I don't think it's because there's like a big mess up and like you need to change for that. It just feels like they're leaving the practice or something happens that they're moving. Oh, you just found a new one. Okay. Sorry. Then I guess I'm right. Let me see. um, so I feel like everything's going to be pretty like it just feels like kind of status quo kind of movement. And then it's when she's 6 months old, there's like a big change, but it feels like a good big change, like a big celebratory change. So and I don't, and it's around the home. It's not around a job. And I don't feel like it's another baby. Like I feel like you're going to be two and done. I don't feel like you're going for three. Um, I feel like it's something like either moving, but there's something around the house and a big change with the house. So with the oracle readings, you just pick the deck. This is how it works. I don't ask it any questions. It's the only question I will ask is what do you need to hear today? So you pick the deck you feel drawn to, and that's how I do it. I don't do any other work for it. That's why I offer them for free. There's none of my other intentions or anything. It's like they tell me when to stop, how many times to shuffle, stuff like that. So it's not really a question. That's why I offer it for free. That's when your husband is done with school. We're hoping to buy a house around then. Okay, perfect. Just figure out where we truly want to be. I don't know if you stay in the area you're in or if you change communities. And I just feel like, and that's more around not about like affordability, but just sort of finding that energetically you're more drawn to one community over another. And I feel like it happens honestly, like you're looking in the same area, you're looking in the same area, you're looking in the same area, and then your realtor goes, "Have you ever thought about this area?" And you're like, "No." And she's like, "Well, let's just like go look and see." I feel like you have a female realtor, um, and and you get drawn to that, and you really like it. Just feels right energetically, and that's I feel like you make this shift. Okay. So that might be why you move a little bit away then, because you're like you're not sure about living near your mom, but maybe that's why you move. You're still in the area, but you you're not so close. Your daughter is gonna have very sparkly eyes. I feel like they're blue, to be honest with you. Any blue eyes in your family? You can walk to her house. So I think, yeah. So I feel like you'll have distance. You might be about 20 minutes away from where you're at right now, 20 to 30 minutes. Okie doke. I need my silencer here for my cup. All right. So let's do. So that's still kind of a general reading, but it just helps me narrow it because otherwise, like, they'll just kind of end up giving me the same stuff. And I'm like, well, I don't know. Sometimes I don't like general readings, and I tell people because, like, if there's a question you really want to have, don't ever be embarrassed to ask it. Just ask it. When I was like not doing this, and I sit as a sitter and I ask a question. When I was first doing stuff, I would be like, "Oh, just tell me whatever." Like I wouldn't be bold and ask the question I wanted to ask. I would just be like, "Maybe the universe will answer this one for me," and then that makes me feel really loved and like whatever. And then I'd always get whatever like this person was having to, and I was like disappointed. So you just learn to ask what you want to ask, and there's nothing embarrassing. I've read for all kinds of people in all kinds of situations with, and if you're not meant to have it, you won't get that information. Like, I mean, I had a reading for one of my clients who I was like, there was some stuff going on with her partner, and he was father of her child, and I was like, oh, he's not gonna have access to her anymore, and or to him anymore. And it was not like an abuse situation. I just want to be clear on that. And my client was like, "Oh, really? Like that?" I was like, "I don't know. That's what I'm being told." There was a tragic accident and her son ended up passing away. So it's like, I'm not going to always be given everything. I'm not saying this is going to happen to anybody, but like my point is like, you're not going to get scary readings. We're not always privy to every information. So if you want to ask a question, just ask it. It doesn't mean you're not loved if you do a general and you don't get your question answered that you're thinking of that you really want, but you're not willing to ask it. It just means I found the easiest information to get to. And sometimes you can hide information from me, believe it or not. I can tell energetically clients that are like, I don't want to tell anything because if I give away anything, then she's not real. It's like their doubt and their skepticism. And I'm like, can you relax? Because even if I'm divining it directly from your head, is that any less fantastic? No. All right. So this one is for Regine. What does Regine need for this week? Let go. That's number 36. Your higher self is inviting you to close the door on this chapter of your life, even if it is difficult and painful, and move on. Accept disappointments and letdowns with grace. Knowing the universe has a better plan in store for you than the one you are now holding on to, We'll talk about that. It's time to let go. Focus on what you've learned instead of what you've lost and look ahead. Retrain, or sorry, this is what glasses help with. Refrain from dwelling on the past or seeking answers right now for you will not find understanding or resolution just yet. Deeper insight will come in time. Eventually, you will be thankful that what disappoints you today is not part of your life. Grieve your heartaches, accept your losses, and bring closures to this episode in life. Far more beautiful gifts and uplifting connections lie ahead. Okay, this is what I wanted to say. Knowing the universe has a better plan in store for you. If there's something you're manifesting, right, or you have manifested, we're going to put it as if you've already done it, right? And you're like, your avatar person is waiting for it to show up in the 3-day because that's the way we work. That's the way our brain processes. If you're in that period, right, sometimes things are going to look unfavorable, and that's part of this unfolding of whatever. I believe the universe just is like, gives you what you want, but you don't always know the best way to go about it. Same thing with my kids. Like, they get upset with they'll get upset with each other and like, go punish them now. And I'm like, no, well, you need to let them know. And I'm like, yep, I do. And I will when it's the right time for them to receive it in the way that they need to receive it. So think of it that way. Like, you might be in this mode of like, I need it, like, and it's got to happen this way. And the universe is like, yeah, no, because there's this like other way that's like actually easier and cooler and more beneficial. So it's not about like you're not deserving or the universe knows better. Like, you're going to get what you want, but it might take a path that's a little different. I don't know. I just don't like that. Like, universe knows better. And cause like, you're allowed to have whatever you want. That possibility exists out there. And, I think it's way cooler to move through your experience empowered than feeling like just again, a little pinball being bounced around. Okay. And then Misty also wanted that one. Card from Misty. What does Misty need to know this week? Sorry, I just had a memory of a Misty I grew up with. She lived in the same like townhouse complex that I lived in, and like it was just a lot of single moms lived there with their feral children. And I remember like running around, like we like hung out. There's a lot of boys, and we went to her house one time. We were hanging out. We were playing video games, I think, and some of the boys found her stepdad's videos, if you will. All sitting there watching, and we were like, we just play Nintendo. And that's the memory I have of Misty. Sorry. TMI. Okay. Sorry, Misty. Let me do this again. What does Misty need to know this week? All right, 2 more shuffles. Sorry. 9, protect your spirit. All right, protect your spirit by surrounding yourself with uplifting and positive people, and do not waste time with those who add nothing beneficial to your life. Study the energy around you and identify sources of negative energy, where it comes from and why. Start by asking if the negative energy is coming from you. Are you feeling angry, upset, resentful, jealous, or insecure? Are you overgiving, doing too much, and feeling unhappy about it? If the answer is yes, recenter your spirit and take time to care for yourself instead of focusing on others or expecting them to notice your feelings or help you. Clear your negative energy with genuine self-love. If you sense negative energy coming from someone else, step away. Do not absorb the negative energy or feel responsible for it. Stand up for yourself by setting clear boundaries. Avoid being judgmental of others as well, for this will only amplify the negativity. Just be clear on what you will and won't accept. Alternatively, put distance between you and the source of negative energy. Your left and right feet are your best protectors right now. Use them. Walk away from what isn't good for you. Ask for divine protection, but remember, God helps those who help themselves. It's weird. Love yourself unconditionally and do not deny or stay in negative energy for any reason. Did I read that right? Was it any reason? Yeah. Okay. You can manifest from negative places. You can do whatever you want from a negative space. It doesn't matter. I think never being in negative energy is just odd, because we learn what we like and don't like from that difference, right? Through comparison and contrast. Like, this feels good, this doesn't feel good. So I don't think negativity is inherently terrible or evil. What a lovely day wants magic and mediums. That's black deck. Sorry, I'm slamming things down. What a lovely day need for today. Portal. There you go. A doorway, gate, or entrance, especially a large or elaborate one. There are multiple stargates and portals on Earth that have allowed travelers to journey beyond space and time. Many ancient sites like Stonehenge in the UK and Abydos and Abu Ghraib in Egypt are believed to be portals connecting humankind with alien races and gods and goddesses. Belief in these portals, this font is a little harder on my eyes. Belief in these portals support why ancient civilizations that were inaccessible to each other via traditional means share similar histories and accounts involving supernatural beings that may have used these portals to access both faraway lands. Sorry. For example, both ancient Incas and Egyptians share an uncanny amount of cultural similarities despite being oceans away. Belief in portals also explains the unique disappearances in national parks and the Bermuda Triangle, but portals are not limited to ancient nor mysterious sites. Everyday mirrors and doors can act as portals connecting humankind to other beings. Skilled psychometrists can connect to a distant person, place, or thing throughout time without the need to any elaborate portal. But merely viewing a historical site, portrait, or relic as a psychometrist can become the portal between worlds. As there is a psychic connection forever existing between things, once associated, it is possible to journey to vast worlds, past and future times, and align with the consciousness of foreign peoples just by throwing yourself into a psychic current surrounding the object or representation of a specific object. That means that a conscientious stroll through a German museum like the Schloss Benrath can teleport you to the 18th century court life, or that meditating upon Egyptian art will serve as a portal inviting Egyptian goddesses into your life. That's been coming up a lot. Well, so also I was thinking about as I was reading that is that today is January 11th, 111, and there are a lot of people within the New Age community that will believe this is a great manifesting day. It's a great portal for that. The other thing that's a portal is your brain, right? So just using your brain to manifest, see yourself in that timeline. That's the use of portals in that sense. Travel through time and space. To do this, you will need an object or a representation of an object that has existed or will exist at that time and in the space that you would like to venture to. Visualization, manifestation. You bought an Egyptian myths book. Oh, that's really cool. Oh, that's really sweet, Gabby. Thank you. I'm glad these makes your Sundays better. Okay. So you need an object. Visiting a museum, library, antique shop, or historical site is a great place to begin as you may encounter relics and photographs containing an energy that will connect you to ancient times and distant lands. Once you have determined which item will serve you or as your portal, you can gaze into it or touch it directly. So when I look at pictures, if I'm doing a reading for somebody and I'm like, can you just send me a picture? Because I might be having a hard time connecting with their name as an energetic type of psychometrizing, right? You psychometrize somebody's voice too when we do. So it's like I look at the picture, that's psychometrizing. But when we do in-person message circles, we always place our name into the circle, and that's a way of psychometrizing and connecting with the energy of their voice. It's why, like when I read in those situations, I'll say their name and they'll say, may I come to you? And then I get to hear their voice again. So it sort of further deepens that connection energetically. I think it's a lot of the reason why too, I don't always recognize people like in person. It's really weird. I don't know how to explain it. Like if you're not where you're normally supposed to be, sometimes I'm like, how do I know you? And maybe that's because I've moved around a lot and I've had a lot of different experiences with a lot of people. But if I hear their voice, then I'm like one of my clients who I've had for years and years and years, I did not recognize her when I saw her in a circle in person in the city. And then I heard her voice and I was like, oh my God, like I couldn't connect it until I heard her voice, like really heard her voice. You didn't miss me. How have you been? I was thinking about you this week. Okay, so all right, once you have determined which item will serve you as a portal, you can gaze into it or touch it directly. If you can touch the item, this is known as psychometry or clairtangency. I just think there's so many clairs that they're like making up stuff. It will enable you to garner memories and information surrounding an object. When utilizing this sense, it's easiest to allow the palm of your left hand to make contact to the item, as the left is where you receive energy. By focusing on the item in a meditative state, your consciousness may be pulled into the scene of where the item originated, or once was, or where it originated or once was. Or you may begin to feel the energies of the item itself via your other clairsenses. This is known as path working to some and enables the viewer to delve into a scene and communicate with the beings that are depicted and contained within the piece. Many cultures, including Egyptian and Chinese, believe that items are imbued with the spirit of its creator and or whatever it depicts. I 1,000% believe in that. Once you are done exploring with the use of this item, remove your consciousness, I guess, conscious self. Oh, there should be an and there should be. Remove your conscious self from the piece by saying goodbye to it, its energies, and imagining any cords connecting you to the time and the place are being severed. Failing to do so may result in you receiving unsolicited messages from the era during your dreams or at any other time. I don't know. I don't do that, like disconnecting from stuff, because I just assume that like my energy, beliefs create your reality. I just assume it's all clear. I'm good. And also, I don't know, is it really that bad having dreams about those things and learning more about it? I guess I never really cared. So Lord Osiris is in the back of the book. He's one of your guides. Wait, hand. I feel a lot of energy in my hands and your left. So I kind of always I don't really, there's a lot of people who talk about like protection and I don't know. I try not to move through my spiritual practice in a fearful, scary way. I try to move through life that way, to be quite honest, because I don't know. Okay. Green Witch, Nicola. What does Nicola need for this week? Autumn, bounty, balance. And I have to figure out where it's at. Autumn is a time to slow down. The high energy of summer's expansion calms and turns to a slower rhythm. There's a space for acknowledgement and gratitude as the intense production of the previous season yields a crop. The autumn equinox is a time of balance when the hours of daylight and night are equal. The autumn card reminds you to balance that balance is important, whether it means balancing work with appreciation for the harvest or balancing intake and output of energy. Don't overtax yourself. Remember to refuel in times of hard work. Reflection. Have you been successful when it comes to balancing your work and personal life? If not, how can you strike a better balance? So you probably need balance right now. Violet's is wisdom of the oracle, and Julia is wisdom of the oracle. And then I don't have anybody else after that. Is there anybody else who wants a card reading? Gabby, did you want a card reading, or Cindy? This one is for Violets. Violets need to know this week. Peace, 23. Essential meaning, freedom from attachment, radical acceptance, the oracle's message. It doesn't get any better than this. A quiet mind, a heart fulfilled, freedom from want, and the soul's satisfaction. The way to peace is through radical acceptance. Everything in your world is exactly as it should be. Harmony is beautiful. Enjoy it. Relationship message. When two people are in true alignment with one another, they have an innate harmony between them. There are two perfectly tuned instruments. They are as two perfectly tuned instruments playing together. Sometimes it's impossible to tell who is who. Peace is yours and it is to be savored. Prosperity message. This is one of those times when you're capable of clear vision about your work and how to create your prosperity. Whatever you're doing, keep doing it. You're called by a presence to step into your power. Just being is enough. For you are in peaceful harmony for spirit, and it shows in your work. And that is it. Past lives for DCN. Okay. Sorry if I missed that. You do need balance. There we go. You're welcome. I know I messed up your name last week. Now I can't remember if it's Denise or Debbie. DCN. Sorry. I was like, I know I mixed it up, and then but I don't remember which one I mixed it up from. This is for Julia, then Wisdom of the Oracle. And then Julia, if you want to do a paid reading, that's fine. I can add it for you. You haven't been on here in a while. Did you hear that I'm launching my community this week? You'll get an email about it. And Green Witch for Cindy. Okay. Okay, no problem. Yeah, see, Cindy wants. You'll watch the bill. Okay. It's Denise. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Cindy wants, sorry. Green Witch. So this is Wisdom of the Oracles for Julia. Fork in the road, number 13. 13 is the divine feminine number. 13 cycles, 13 moons. Essential meanings. Time to make a decision considering the consequences as you prepare to act, owning up to your obligation to make a necessary choice. The Oracle's message. Every choice has a consequence. You've arrived at a fork in the road and are being asked to come to that decision. Will you further your dreams by choosing left or by choosing right? Will you take the road less traveled or the one well worn by others who have come before you? This is your choice and yours alone to make. Circumstances and other people, will not make it for you. Be present and do not avoid this junction, for it's an important crossroads. Take heart, as no matter which path you choose, you will have a rich and meaningful experience. Relationship message. You've reached a moment of truth in the evolution of your relationship. Which will you choose? To open up to the possibility of love, or to remain isolated, to go deeper and commit to mutual passion, or to walk away? This is a time to take responsibility for your truest desire and follow it. Be honest with yourself about what you're willing to do, invest, and give, then choose. You cannot make a wrong choice. If you move forward with a relationship, know that it will be based in truth and authenticity. You will have made a conscious decision rather than simply hanging on because you don't want to be alone, or ending things because you're afraid of the intensity and genuine connection. All roads lead to lessons you must learn in your relationships. Regardless of the decision you make, it will place you on a path to a truer experience of the heart. Prosperity message. You've come as far as you can on this part of your journey, and now you're faced with a choice. Inherent in this choice is the need for change, for evolution, and for bettering your circumstances. Narrow it down to just a single question. What do I need to become, and what do I need to believe in order to live a life of prosperity? Answer honestly and from the heart. Then the decision about which way to go will be effortless. Know that abundance is all around you. Choose to see it, and it will be easier to settle on a direction. For the way will be made clear by your intuition, which knows how to steer you towards your well-being. Okay. Denise wants past lives, and Cindy wants Green Witch. Oh, there's my past life. Does Denise need to connect with this week? Trust and faith. The question that you're asking today is connected to the levels of trust and faith that you have. These two qualities affect the amount of fulfillment, peace, and joy you experience. If you find that you don't trust yourself, others, or even life itself, the reason may be rooted in prior lifetimes. This card may also indicate a past lifetime where you were betrayed by a specific person who is in your current life. This is also true with respect to the amount of faith you have in the universe or God. Look at the other cards that you drew surrounding this one, which I didn't draw anyone, sorry, for clues as to which lives may have shattered or boosted your faith. I can draw another one just to help you out. You drew this card as a sign to have faith and trust that your prayers have been heard and are being answered. While it's true that you learned from your past, it's also important to live in this moment without clouding it or with past pain. And if your faith and trust issues are directed at certain individuals, listen to these feelings, as they may be red flag warnings to heed. You can forgive someone for past lifetimes, and also follow your inner guidance to avoid him or her as a warning that you just hurt, if it is warning you to distrust this person. Sorry. All right. That was for you. DCN, Denise, you put in past lives. That one's for you. Trust. Okay, I'm doing another one to see which past life might connect with this. Does that work? Which past life might connect with this particular card? Knighthood. Maybe somebody betrayed you and it got you killed. Sorry, that's not funny. We should be serious here. What is my alphabet again? Okay. Once a knight, always a knight. You receive this card as validation of your inner knighthood. Whether you're a man or a woman in this life, you may have the heart and mind of a knight. Most likely, you've long had a fascination with tales and images of knights. You may collect knight figures, decorate with knight-related artwork, or even dress up as a knight during costume parties. Is there something we need to know? In relationships and careers, you're drawn to defend those who are weak or vulnerable. You may choose a profession that puts you into a guardian or protector role. It's essential that you only work for organizations that you fully believe in. As a knight, you're loyal to those who earn your respect, otherwise, you're not happy. Okay, so that was for Denise. Now we have Cindy, and then I will do Julia's question, and I have to go because I have things to do, people to see, ice skating to be had. This is Cindy's card. What does Cindy need to know today? Sage, wisdom, purification, and harmony. Creative Chicks wants trust your vibe. Okay. I can't figure out like how this thing is. I almost feel like the author of these cards because I can't. It's like there's not really a rhyme or reason. Maybe there is, and I'm just not seeing it. Sage would be by. It's not alphabetical. That's all I'm telling you. It doesn't. I'm trying to figure out what the pattern is for how they decided to do things. There we go. Card meaning. Sage is a wise herb. It reassures you that you are grounded and stable, and that the wisdom you need is easily accessible if you look into the right place. The Sage card reminds you that insight can appear from unlikely sources. Being in harmony with your environment allows you to receive messages and act on them more easily than if you are living in discord. Listening can bring balance, and purification can remove obstacles that further cloud that exchange of information and communication. Remember that what may not make sense now might fall into place later. Don't be so quick to dismiss advice that doesn't make sense immediately. Remain open and wisdom will come to you. Reflection. How can you help to facilitate communication of wisdom from your surroundings? You're a little delayed here, but that card describes me perfectly. Awesome. And then hang on. Creative Chicks wants trust your vibe. I did miss you. I'm sorry, dear. Thank you for your patience. This is for Creative Chicks. What does she need to know today? This coming week. I pulled this one, but this one wanted to come with it too. So we'll do both. So there's New Beginnings, which is 42, and Work Together, which is 40. I'll start with the New Beginnings with the butterflies. It is time to leave the old life behind and focus on implementing new ideas and new connections into your life. Don't overthink or ask the wrong people for their opinion. This will only create roadblocks on your path. Those who genuinely love and support you will naturally cheer on your growth and change. If you are open to new opportunities, the universe will meet you halfway and bring them to you in unexpected ways. Do not cling to outworn ideas or old versions of yourself. You are no longer the person you used to be. The doors to a brand new future are wide open and inviting you in. Trust this opportunity and venture forward confidently. You will evolve beyond your wildest expectations. And then work together is your goals and priorities can be achieved, but not alone. Now is the time to reach out to like-minded, equally talented people and form partnerships. Align internally with your spirit first. Are you focused? Are you clearly focused and committed to your goals? Are you willing to assume responsibility for your choices and actions? Are you aligned with your spirit? Once you align with your authentic self, reliable others who share the same vibration will help. You will benefit from others' suggestions and, with their help, quickly advance toward your goals. Above all, enjoy collaborating with creative others. You will discover it is far more fun and rewarding to work with kindred spirits than to work alone. Let the universe and the people around you make your life easier. Okie dokie. You've been chopping vegetables and listening. I'm glad that I can help you pass the time of vegetable chopping. Oh, I love that. I'm so glad you like being here. I like having everybody's energy here. It's nice. I look forward to Sundays too. Okay, Julia, what's your question? Hang on. My daughter wants to call her friend for her birthday, and I have to give her 7 because her friend's birthday is today. My daughter's birthday is tomorrow. So there's a lot of January birthdays at my daughter's school. It's very interesting. All those Capricorn babies. Wayne just went to an interview and a 4-bed house is available with the job for us as a family. Do you see him getting offered the job and the house? Oh, we were talking about losing weight and you figured that was a sign. It could be. I feel like it's favorable and he would be offered it, but I feel like he has reservations about it. And maybe this is part of his skepticism and being like, it's too good to be true kind of a thing. That's what I'm getting. I'm not getting 100% like you'll go or you won't go, but I feel like he'll be offered it, but he's feeling skeptical about it. And it's like interesting because it also feels like reservations about would we be able to take our animals with and trying to figure that out, and that being a big concern for him. Does that resonate? He loves his job. It's just the opportunity of a house, really. And yes, that's totally So I will say that his decision is very contingent on whether or not you can find something for the horses so that you can have them, because I feel like he's very set on, we won't get rid of the horses. Like, they're his family. So it'll be contingent on that, I think. And so then I have to ask the other question, which is like, so if you know anything about the way I teach how to connect with your intuition, it's like getting the answers from the universe or source or whatever you want to call it, Akashic records, whatever. You have to ask the right question, just like you have to query the right question to Alexa or whatever. So I had to get to that and be like, will you find a place for the horses? And I feel like, yes, absolutely. And it's like just down the street. It's like something where it's actually really, really close to where you're at. So it's not an issue. Like, you could go there every day and spend time with them. Okay. All right. So I will say adios. I hope you all have a fabulous week, and I will see you next weekend.